guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the starter of a series called Hurt Girl to Healed Woman. It's going to be a series on my testimony because I lived a lot of different phases in my life. I was a lot of different types of people in my life, it seems like. But I want to start this series. I did a little vote on Instagram and everybody said, yes, do the series. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to start now. But I'm going to go in phases. So the first phase is going to be called Lover Girl. And I'm just going to share different experiences of my life that I went through that ended up turning into a woman healed. And I hope this series will show people in general, whether you're a lady or a man. Yo, never did I lose a... Child, I lost a whole press-on nail. Where did that go? All right, that was... Sidebar, I gotta make another set because I don't even know where that is. I don't know where it went. Is it in here? Because I was playing with my hair a lot. Oh my goodness, I'm really sad because I don't know where I'm gonna find time to make these press-ons. But anyway, side note, yeah, I really want this series to save somebody. Just to let somebody know you don't have to stay where you are mentally. You can leave from that place. That place doesn't have to be permanent. It's actually meant to be temporary if you allow God to heal you. So I'm just gonna share my testimony about how God healed me in series because I lived a long life, child. I lived a long life. I lived a long life of I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna move how I want, I'm gonna feel how I want, and I'm gonna do what I want. So I'm gonna start it off with Lover Girl. So I'm gonna start this off by saying I was molested when I was 7 years old. And it was kind of like a real, I wasn't even made 100% aware that I was molested until I turned 24 is when I fully found out. By the grace of God. God is the one who revealed to me that I was molested. I always had this memory. I never dug deeper into the memory because I always felt fake crazy. Every time I had the memory, it was like a trigger kind of memory. And whenever I walk into the room, I always remember just walking into the room, but after that, I've never really dug deeper into what happened after walking in that room, in that memory. So kind of God revealed it all to me, and I was like, wow, I was molested. That's crazy. But then when I kind of looked into the symptoms of childhood trauma and stuff like that, after it was revealed to me, I did experience a lot of those symptoms of being molested as a child. It's so crazy. So all right, that's just a basis, a basis of where Lover Girl started from, just searching for love and comfort. So I was in high school, right? And I was going to church. I was in my youth choir, and I was in youth ministry. We was there every single Friday, never missed a Sunday. My cousin was really involved in the church and stuff. So we used to just go with him all the time. So I'm talking about high school, but in middle school I was heavily involved in a different church. That was my mom's home church, where she got saved and stuff and baptized. That was my church in middle school. But when I started to get involved in church, it was high school, my freshman year. So anyway, let me also start off the series by saying anyone that I've hurt and anything that I mention going forward, I apologize, and I hope that you can forgive me for the parts that I played in your life that made things inconvenient or me causing any trouble, because I was a little troublemaker. So I just want to start that off in the beginning by saying, one, I'm sorry for not taking your feelings into consideration. That's everybody who I'm gonna speak. I'm not even really speaking on y'all. Like, it just so happens to be that y'all are a part of the testimony, but I won't be saying any names or anything like that. But should these people ever stumble across this video, I initially first want to say that I am sorry for anything that I have done to y'all that was nasty and just like really inconsiderate, and also just not fair. And also, even if you don't give me an apology, I just want to let you know that I fully forgive you for whatever it is that you may have said or done to me. You are fully forgiven. I have absolutely not one quarrel with anybody at all. Like, regardless of whatever anybody put me through, I ain't got no beef with nobody. Like, it's literally all love. And I really pray that, like, wherever y'all are at in your life right now, I pray that God just makes it better. Even if it's good for you, I pray like God makes it 10 times better. But yeah, let me just initially just start off with saying, well, I'm sorry, because I was nasty to a lot of people. So first and foremost, my apologies. All right, so high school. All right, so yeah, high school. So like when I started going to high school, I was real quiet. Like, I was always real quiet and stuff. So like I was like, you know, I was like in honors classes and stuff. Like, I was always math smart and whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I started going to church, and I used to come to school and stuff, like fasting, and I used to like fast and like do my little prayer or whatever. And yeah, that was like my freshman year of high school, right? Then in my freshman year, there was this boy that I really, really liked. And or maybe like right before I started my freshman year, there was this boy that I really liked, and he was older than me. So like, he was like that guy, you know, like in the church, he was like that guy. So like, I had like a really big crush on him, but I was young for him, like younger for him. And so we ended up really just mainly being like friends and stuff. And then like, he ended up like, I'm not gonna say he was a player, but he was a player. Like, he had like it was like a little list or whatever. And I'll never forget one time he invited me to like his little barbecue or whatever, and it was like other girls there that he was talking to, and he knew that like I liked him. My feelings were so hurt. I was so young, but my feelings were so hurt. But anyway, I really liked him. Like, I really had a big crush on him, and it was like a back and forth for a while I was like in high school dealing with him. So anyway, fast forward, I ended up getting into a relationship really young with some other boy. And like, we was together for like, I don't know, I want to say like my freshman year into my sophomore year. But he was a cheater, all right? Like, he was a cheater. And it was also confusion. He was older than me too, and I used to like sneak out my house to go spend the night with him and stuff, because he was a little bit older than I was, so he had like more freedom or whatever, so he could do like other stuff. I couldn't do all that in high school, you know, like my parents was low-key strict, so I couldn't really do all that. Like, I really spent the majority of my, like, I'm from Yonkers, but I'm not, pause, I lived in Yonkers the majority of my life, but I'm from the Bronx. So like, I never really had like Yonkers friends. Like, I was always at my family's house in the Bronx. Like, we never spent time in Yonkers. Like, as a kid, like my childhood was spent in the Bronx, but I lived in Yonkers and went to school out there. So, but the majority of my life was spent uptown. Like, it was like my whole life was spent in the Bronx, really. So anyway, right, I was getting cheated on, right? And mind y'all, I was in a state of like, I'm looking for love. Like, I just want to love somebody. At the time though, while I'm in high school, one, I'm not understanding that I was actually molested, and two, you know, spiritual warfare still played a part in all of this, even though I wasn't aware of what spiritual warfare was at that time. But looking back now, I can see how like the devil was on me, especially because I was young. I was fasting. I was going to church. I even had a sermon one time. Like I preached one time. Like I was really into my church. Like I loved going to church. Like I always loved going to church. I loved dressing up to go to church. Like I just always loved going to church. I always loved praise and worship. Like I always loved going to church. Like out of all my siblings, I always loved going to church the most. So anyway, my cousin, he had just got married, right? And they were like leading youth ministry. So it was always so cute. Like, so I was always inspired by marriage. Like I grew up in a house where my parents were married and stuff like that. And I'm going to church and like I'm always at church. So it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to be loved. And I'm already searching for love. You get what I'm saying? So now fast forward, yeah, I told you I was getting done dirty. Like I was getting cheated on left and right. And then after getting done dirty, how I got done dirty, like my junior year in high school, I kind of was just like, I'm just do me. Like I'm just doing me. And I really had a thing, like, you know how, who was it? Was this, yeah, Samson. You know how Samson had a thing for Philistine women? Like I had a thing for Philistine men. Like I loved the guys who was outside. If your pants was, I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know what it was. Like something about a boy being outside was just like, oh, like I kind of want to try to talk to you. And like these boys was not looking for nobody to talk to, child. They was looking for somebody to play with. And I was young and dumb, and I was just allowing myself to just be somebody to be played with. So that was like that was me in high school. And I ended up getting in a relationship again my senior year in high school. Me and this boy went to prom together. We started our first semester in college together, and he was also cheating. Like my whole, anytime I was in a relationship as a, like, I wouldn't even call those relationships, but I was dating, I was young, and I was getting done disgusting. Like disgusting. With girls that I was going to school with and everything, like these boys was doing whatever they wanted to do to me, honestly. And because of the fact that I was like, oh yeah, like I just need love right now. Like I just need love. I was just taking whatever. And then anyway, now I'm in college, and I think he had cheated on me again. This is the third relationship now I'm speaking on. Well, this is the second, because the first boy that I mentioned, who was like a hot boy in church, like we was never together, but it was like a back and forth thing for a long time. So anyway, high school ended, college, I found out he cheated on me again. And at this point, like, it's like I'm picking him up to go to school so we could go to school together. And you know, he started working and stuff, and like, I don't know, like being naive, like your head is just like, yeah, this is the man I'm gonna marry. I'm gonna have kids with him, and we're gonna graduate college together because we graduated high school together. We did prom together, so clearly marriage is what's next, girl. Sit down. That's definitely what was not next. So anyway, this boy been cheating on me for like forever, and it's like how old was that? At this point, I'm like 18. And I started dealing with this other boy. And it was just like, well, I just don't want to get cheated on anymore. And I started talking to this boy or whatever. And that was like my first time ever experiencing abuse in a relationship. I was like 18, turning 19. And that relationship was really like a blur to me. So I can't even get too full into detail, but it wasn't given, so I ended up breaking up with him. Then I ended up in another relationship, right? And it was cool. Like, he was like my first white boy I ever dated, and like it was a cool little situation, like, cause he wasn't really like a white boy. He was like gangster kinda. I felt like, at least, like he was outside with the hoodlums and stuff, and I thought that was attractive for a white boy. Like, I was really like messed up in the head. But anyway, now after that relationship was over, and he wasn't like a cheater or anything, but at that point, like, I had jumped from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship, that I wasn't really in a mind of just like, I'm gonna just stay here for a while. Like, at that point, when I felt like that wasn't working, I was just really on some like, I'm just gonna do everybody how everybody did me is how I'm doing people. So yeah, that's what I started doing. Like, I just started just like wilding out, I guess. Like, at the end of that relationship, y'all, like, I was getting exposed on Facebook and stuff. Like, it was very ghetto. Like, it was so ghetto. Like, it was very, very ghetto. Like, the first time that it happened, it was because I had just been dealing with somebody and just started dealing with somebody else. And everybody's like, oh my God, wasn't that girl just with And then it was like, oh yeah, she was with And if you from Yonkers, you kind of know, like, they top 5, they ganging up on people. Okay? like they're top 5. Like, if anything funny on Facebook is going on, everybody got to be involved. And at the time, I didn't have like friends. Like, I wasn't like, all my friends had went away to college, and I could have gone to, like, I was mad smart. Like, I really could have got into a good college had I really just been more focused on going to school. But I was just so focused on trying to fill something, and I didn't even know what I was actively trying to fill. I just know that I felt empty, and like my home felt uncomfortable, and like I was always being compared to my younger sister, and it was just like, oh no, but you could be doing this. You don't do this like this. You don't do this like her, so on and so forth. So my home became uncomfortable. Me and my mom's relationship started to get real rocky when I got into high school. Like, it was like getting real bad, and home just didn't feel like home. Like, it really felt like a war zone. Honestly, like, I felt like I had to walk on eggshells. So I was like searching for comfort outside of my house. So I don't know where I low-key just lost track of what I was saying. But anyway, I was starting to deal with I was getting cyberbullied, honestly. Like, if we just gonna call it what you want to call it. Oh yeah, I was saying I ain't got no friends like that because all my friends went away to college and stuff like that. So I'm basically, in my friend group, I'm the only one who stayed in Yonkers, me and another girl, but we just like kind of like drifted apart. So at this point now, like, my relationships are becoming my friendships. You get what I'm saying? So now, fast forward, after I've been trying to be loved on and be loved, and it was like nobody was trying to love me. Like, nobody was trying to love me. And it was just like everybody was just like looking for a good time. And once my mind kind of started to recollect that people are looking for a good time, I decided that I'm gonna look for a good time too. You get what I'm saying? So this series is about to end because Lover Girl didn't last that long. Lover Girl turned into Party Girl, but I'm gonna save that for another video. But like I was saying prior to that, I started getting cyberbullied or whatever, and I didn't have no friends. Like, it was really just, it was me against the whole 914 at this point. And like, I was like, first of all, child, I don't care if I don't come outside. Y'all not playing with me. I don't play disrespect. Like, and then, like I said, I didn't really grow up in Yonkers. Like, I lived there. That was it. But I wasn't outside. I didn't, like, the same way people be knowing people from, like, I don't know, like, half Yonkers is like related to each other. Like, a lot of people really know each other, like really grew up with each other. I wasn't that. So it was just like, oh, who's this girl? You get what I'm saying? So anyway, like I was saying, it didn't really turn into like the whole cyberbully thing. I wasn't jacking none of that. I wasn't jacking none of that. And that was like my first time experiencing getting cyberbullied. And then after I got cyberbullied, that's when I started dating the white boy. And then after dating him, when we broke up, I ended up getting cyberbullied again after that situation because of some choices that I had no business making. And once again, it was just like me going back and forth, just defending myself alone. And then I guess honestly, like, that's how I really started getting known for just like, defending myself on the internet. You know, like, somebody always has something to say, I always had something to say back. So yeah, and in that now, because at this point now I'm just like tired of people playing with me, I became the player. But I'm gonna save the I became the player for the next episode. But yeah, that's part 1 of my series, my testimony. Hurt girl to heal woman, and that was the Lover Girl. Like, I was looking for love and I was getting played. And then, like, after getting played too many times, and then just like getting tired of like searching for relationships, like I was clearly been looking for comfort, been looking for how to get healed, or looking for healing, and just one didn't even know like your girl needed something deeper than healing, child. I mean, I needed deeper than comfort. I really needed Jesus, but nobody knew. Nobody knew. I didn't even know. So I was really just walking around mad, lost, and broken, and hurt, and confused, trying to date people, and that's already toxic. You know what I'm saying? That already doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's my first part of my testimony. Party Girl is gonna be a lot more interesting, to say the least. But like I said, this series is meant to show people that redemption is for everybody, okay? And I'm really gonna take out on a trip through my life to show you that redemption is for everybody. Like, everybody is worthy of God healing them. Like, every person is worthy of having a relationship with God, and like handing over your pain to him and letting him handle your pain. Like, let him fix that, you know? And I was holding on to pain for a really long time before I even understood that I was holding on to pain. So yeah, until the next episode, y'all, but that's the Lover Girl. And like I said, anyone who was mentioned, or if you figured I was talking about you or whatever, like I said, it's no malice, no hate, no nothing. It's all love. I mean, and to most people that got mentioned, I've already sent y'all like my own form of apology, like my own form of an apology. So once again, like I said, anything that I did during those time periods that was hurtful to y'all, I apologize. And I also forgive y'all for what was done to me. It is not coming from a bad place. Like I said, just people need to know that redemption is for everybody and forgiveness is for everybody. And I ain't gonna stop forgiving. So I hope y'all don't not forgive me, you know, but I can't force somebody to forgive me. But yeah, that's my little testimony. So I'll see y'all on the next episode next week, which will be Party Girl. Don't miss that one.